everyone, and welcome back to Chaos Creations. I hope you've had a wonderful and fun Christmas and everyone is safe. Here in Australia, well, Western Australia, it is very, very warm. The east coast of Australia is, I think, partially underwater by all the stories of rain and thunder and lightning. I want to talk today about a few different things, but before I do anything, I want to talk to you about a little bit of a project that I was doing last time, which were these clips that were being put onto the side of bases to take them from a 20 to a 25 base. Now, if you're a 3D printer, you'll understand some of the jargon I'm about to use. So I had initial problems printing them out. Now I had to put down like a little like brim or raft or something underneath to help it stick to the plate because it was so small and very tiny and the printer was having trouble. Problem was, I started to have jams. Now, I think in total it was 3 nozzle jams in about 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Very, very frustrating, regardless. Though, through a lot of effort and time and hard work, it was coming down to putting them down like this. And what was happening is, instead of me printing them flat, I was printing them sitting up and just having racks upon racks upon racks. And that worked fine for about 3 of these, or maybe 4 of these. And then all of a sudden, boom, it started to jam again. And after, I think, the 3rd jam, there was some screaming and yelling and some very raised voices. So at the moment, I don't really think it's cost effective for me to do this. It's a great idea, and I absolutely love it. And, I've got, enough there to do maybe 30 models, maybe 40 models. If I'm like 4 short of doing my army, which is just down here, all the metal ones, if I'm like 4 short, I might print out, 8 more and get them out of the way. But for the most part, I think I'm done and dusted with it. It's a fantastic idea. I think it's more for resin. I might try some of the bigger sizes, like a 40 by 40 to a 50 by 50 style. That might be a bit more effective. But 25, no, I'm good. I'm done. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is, a few other things. The first one being base sizes. Now, if you're an old world player like I am and you're excited, the last 2 days would be really exciting for you. We've had 2 big things come out. We've had the web page explode for the old world. There's now videos and content, and we've talked about the Bretonnian Knights on the web page and so forth. It's all very exciting, and I'm guessing the fact that, I was told that this would be happening on Boxing Day, pretty much a guarantee, and it has, and it's only going to get more and more and more. I'm guessing they're going to try to release it mid-January. So we'll get the models. I'm guessing it'll be, because it's a brand new game, brand new box set, brand new release. They'll want to, get as much in as possible. So you're looking at a 2-week turnaround before you'll get your models. So that's my estimate. I could be wrong. It could be a 1-week turnaround, but I get a feeling for something this huge, you're going to need 2 weeks. So pre-orders start on maybe the 6th of January. Get it around the 20th, I think I worked it out to be. But that's the feeling I'm getting. It'll be either that or the week after. So we might, get a bit more of a lead up. But I doubt it. I think 6th of January is when we'll start looking at pre-orders. But until then, we have the age-old dilemma, base sizes. And I think in some respects, they've been very quiet about their base sizes, and the one thing I've been hearing most about is, everyone, all the horses are going to this, which is a 30 by 60, and not the normal horse size, which was 25 by 50. But I think we're all being deceived. I get the feeling, now I've looked at the horses on the old world and the horsemen that I've got, the undead horsemen, and I'm doing a size comparison. They look exactly the same. There is no difference. Just bear with me a second. Sorry about that. That's not very good planning against my part. But these horses here, that one's going to be a bit wonky, but these are the ones that I got off eBay very, very cheaply. Now, these horses here are like the ones in the on the pictures. And I've had a look, and the horse, where the legs are, to the back and so forth, they're almost exactly the same as the ones in the pictures. There is no difference. So, I mean, if that horse was on there, there would be huge amounts of room, insane amounts of room. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like it's on a normal horse base. So what I think is going to be happening is this will be used for Bretonnian horses, and Bretonnian horses alone, or maybe some war horses or something. But for the most part, all normal horses will be on the normal base. And Bretonnian war horses will be on this base alone. And I think that's the only change we're going to see for horses, really. I mean, we're going to get some monstrous horses and so forth, unicorns that are on bigger bases and such. But, Bretonnian horse, just the same old normal one. And that's what I've done. I've compared them. I've looked at them side by side. I've had the horse up there going, oh, it's that far away. And it just goes on the legs, where they're positioned and so forth. They look like they're on normal horse's base. So I think we're going to see that. I mean, that's the 25, and that's like the normal horse base that we're talking about. So it's the same size as that. It's buckled a little bit there. What happened there? Oh, that's come through the bottom. Okay. Ooh, that's going to be fun. I might have to rebase that dude. But yeah, it's a normal base size for a horse. So yeah, I think the horse that's fully undead in particular will just be a normal horse base size. And that kind of makes sense, because if you look at the readings on the writings and so forth about the Bretonnians, you can have a horse, a Bretonnian horse, a war horse, or a unicorn and so forth. So Bretonnian horses are different to normal horses. As we know, they get like an extra D6 for movement or something. So, I think that's going to be, like I said, the Bretonnian standard. The other thing I want to say is the, where are we? I got my notes. The dragon base, I think, is going to be about 100 across and 125 down-ish, maybe 130. I'm just looking at sizes and doing comparisons and so forth and just working it out. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to know the dragon size until they're very late. But, for me, who's a 3D printer that likes to go around and start printing out, new chariot bases and so forth. And let's see if we can get this in focus. So little chariot base, little sphinx on there and ruins and such. So for me, this stuff is, just fun to do. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Now, before I forget, there's a couple of other things. I did mention the fact that the Kroot were getting a new listing. If you've seen some of the videos that's come out, it's got like a shadow of like a Kroot. Obviously, you can tell by the hair on the back, a Kroot warrior on like a big creature. It looks like my people that told me are true, that the Kroot are coming out with a whole new army. Tau. So it's not going to be like guys with like motorized mecha. It's just not just Kroot, and more Kroot, and the whole army is set out just for them and nothing else, with creatures, pets, and so forth, snipers. Like I said, it's almost like a mixture of Tyranids meet orcs in Kroot form, if that makes sense. I have heard some more about the Krieg coming out, so yeah, that looks like it's coming out in plastic as well, which is interesting. I don't do Krieg and I don't do Tau either, but it's interesting stories that I'm hearing. With the old world now, I'm sure it's just going to be, in my chat groups, it's going to be a myriad of, people making up stories and so forth. For the most part, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm just going to stick to the core narrative of what they're saying and so forth, because it's only going to be a matter of days before we start getting, the really juicy stuff. I would say early New Year, which is next week, we will get some really big updates, some really impressive stuff. And that's not me being told stuff, that's just me guessing. I'm going to guess that's going to be it. The interesting thing I do find is that you've got two books. You've got the Ravenous Horde and the Heroes and so forth. They're actually very old Warhammer books. I've got them somewhere, they're in storage or on the shelf somewhere. But yeah, they're actually sort of like a callback to very old books. I found that quite touching and beautiful. And it's a callback to that old days of Warhammer Fantasy. Any questions? Just ask. I'm happy to help out. The files for these, if you're interested, for Avatars of War, I don't know if they've put them out on My Mini Factory yet. They were part of a Kickstarter. They are very handy. If you've got a resin printer, these things are going to be absolutely amazing. These things will just be stunning. I just don't own a resin printer anymore. So for me, it's PLA only. I am printing up some very interesting pieces. I'm going back to a call of nostalgia for Mighty Empires. So I'm going to be doing that beautiful classic old castle, not all of it, but the front part and a couple of the towers and so forth. And, when my friend gets his Bretonnian army or his Empire army, he can have, some people on that and so forth. Just, I'm getting a bit nostalgic, I guess, with, all this old stuff coming back out and such. As much as I love the new stuff, I love the new Scarab Swarms. They look absolutely gorgeous, very, very pretty. They're coming in resin, which I found interesting, and there's a couple of new standard bearers and so forth. It's like, I hope Arcan the Black is back in there. And in some respects, I want him to have his little standard with the Wheel of Magic and his, humongous like crown and so forth. Just as much as I want him on the back of that big, dragon thing that he used to ride around in the End of Times. I just, that the old Nelstadra is really sort of kicking back in with me. I'm going to get my Nagash back together, and hopefully he's going to be in there. I wonder if there's going to be like, the old clown version of him, which I absolutely love. Don't get me wrong, the new version is nice. It's just a little over the top, while Warhammer Fantasy is, Warhammer Old World is over the top, that Nagash is just, I don't know, a little bit too far. I think if they could ramp him down, maybe have him, just him, on a 50 by 50 base, summoning up a swarm of undead. That would be pretty. I'd like that, but not the humongous base monstrosity that he is. That gives me an idea. I might have to find my Nagash and maybe modify him. That's if he's in the new rules. If he's in the new rules, then I might be modifying my Nagash, I think. Before I forget, there is one other thing. eBay, now that these skeletons are coming out and so forth, are having some pretty price drops here in Australia anyway. So this lovely gentleman here, I picked him up for $20 on eBay, including shipping. Now, I've seen this dude going for like, 60, 70 bucks, 4 or 5 months ago. So he's going at a quite nice price. I was able to pick him up and get him just before Christmas. It was actually somebody local that had him. So that's very nice. And yeah, there are a few other, bargains to be had online now, because everyone will be wanting to sell everything that they've got now that the new stuff is coming out. The old stuff is going to be obsolete. Anyway, this is Chaos signing off. I do have a competition running if you're interested. And once I get to 1,000 followers and 1,500, actually, no, I've got the one for 800 and I have to check that back up. I think it's 850 I was going to do with that. But it's all just the new Legions Imperialis that I was going to use, but now I'm not. So just let me move stuff out the way because I'm messy here. So it's all this Legions Imperialis stuff, and there's literally a full box of it here. So I'm not going to be using it. So I'll just give it away to somebody. I was hoping to do it before Christmas, so it would be a nice Christmas present, but so be it. Anyway, everyone have a great day. This is Chaos signing off, and always remember, love the game, love life, Chaos out.